Tomorrow's primary day in a couple of states, including Arizona. The longtime Senator John McCain, he's running for re-election against former state Representative Kelli Ward. It's been a rather contentious, somewhat nasty campaign that involved Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump at times as well. Right now, our CNN ORC poll of likely Republican voters in Arizona shows Senator McCain with a lead, 55% to 29%. State Representative Kelli Ward is joining us now. Thanks so much for joining us. We invited, by the way, Senator McCain, but he declined our invitation. Let's talk about your effort to defeat a very established incumbent. How has that played into your campaign? Because clearly he's well known to all Republicans, indeed everyone out in Arizona.
Yeah, well, I thank you for having me on. I'm not surprised that Senator McCain wouldn't come and be side by side with me, because he's done all he can to avoid being in the same room. He's been afraid to debate. He's definitely not standing on his own record. He's done his fair share, $7 million worth of attacks against me. But things look great. I'll tell you, there's a new Breitbart poll out right now from Gravis showing that this is a razor-thin margin, 37-33, with a 3.5% margin of error. And the late breakers are going for Ward. So I think we can see a big upset tomorrow.
You're a major supporter of Donald Trump. Senator McCain, he's been lukewarm, as you know, not so vocal. He says he backs the party's Republican presidential nominee. Still, Donald Trump has endorsed Senator McCain. How disappointed are you with that?
You know, it was disappointing, but I know that the people in Arizona know that Donald Trump and Kelli Ward will be an unstoppable force in Washington, D.C., because President Trump is going to need a policy expert like me, because when I was in the state Senate, I was very effective, getting 19 bills signed into law in 2015 alone. And so we need somebody who's going to be able to put forward that policy to secure the border and to fix the VA and to rev up the economy and to put America first in trade.
As you know, part of your pitch to voters in Arizona is that Senator McCain is simply too old. Today, by the way, is his 80th birthday. Do you honestly believe that he is too old to be a United States senator?
You know, I do want to give him the best 80th birthday present ever, the gift of retirement tomorrow. And I think back in 2008, you actually were interviewing then candidate Barack Obama, who brought up that Senator McCain was, lost his bearing. And John Kerry said he was confused. And Susan Rice, also on the Democrat side, had concerns. And so all the way back 8 years ago, CNN and other liberal outlets and other liberal politicians were bringing John McCain's age into this election. Now we're 8 years later. I think it's something the voters need to know. Do we want to send an 80-year-old man back to Washington, or do we want to have something different, a 47-year-old vibrant physician with a lot of real-life experience to put this country on the right track?
But you're saying that he's simply too old to be a United States senator. Do you have any evidence that from the health perspective, from the medical perspective, from his emotional or psychological perspective, he is unqualified to serve the people of Arizona?
Actually, a lot of you all in the media have been saying that. I've been saying that he's been in Washington for nearly 4 decades. And that's way too long for anyone to be in Washington, D.C. It's time for new eyes on the problems that are facing this country. The people who have been there for decade after decade after decade have put us where we are. And people want a change. They are looking for a bold, fresh, fearless person to be their voice in Washington. And I think that's why the voters of Arizona tomorrow are going to elect overwhelmingly Dr. Kelli Ward.
Kelli Ward, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Wolf. Great to see you.